Welcome back. It is January 3rd, 2023. The Book of Mormon just got into Schenectady, New York, which is right outside of Albany. It's about 6 degrees outside, so delightful. And it's supposed to get colder. I think it's going to be like -5 when we get out of the show tonight, so that'll be fun. Luckily, the hotel is right across the street from the theater. So don't have to walk too far. I got long johns on, a couple layers, big old parka, so we should be golden. Had about 6-hour travel day on the bus today. They've given us a second bus, which people are very happy about. It's just nice to be able to have your own row and be able to shift and not bump somebody, your seat partner next to you. So it makes travel days a lot easier. Of course, I look like I've been traveling all day. Probably need a shower, but we'll see about doing that before the show. I'm not sure. This episode, I just wanted to give an update on the Westone in-ear monitors that I've been using. These things have been interesting. It's been kind of like a learning process. I've had to reset my mix, my personal mix, just slightly. Mostly I just turned the main volume, the master volume, down compared to the Sony cans I was using. But you get more detail on these than I did with the Sonys. These are 3 drivers. I'm not sure how many drivers the cans have. Really don't know much about them. The Sonys are certainly good headphones. I would recommend them at that price point to anybody. But these have been interesting, getting more detailed sound. I actually am able to hear more vocals through through my own microphone than I'm used to. I think because they cancel out so much noise, like 25 or 30 decibels worth of stuff. They're very isolating, so it's a very like unnatural sort of sound. Everything you're getting is via the monitor. You're not getting any outside sound at all. I have been wearing both of them for most of the show in both ears. I'm finding that when you're fully in-ear like that, you get less dynamic levels from your own instrument than you would open-eared, right? So softer dynamics still sound pretty loud, and louder dynamics, I think we have a bit of compression in our mix, so that's kind of frustrating. It's something I didn't notice with the cans, but I'm kind of picking up now. That's a little frustrating because, you know, when you're pushing it, particularly in the upper register, your sound tends to disappear the more you push the volume, at least to my ears. And that's not what you want for security in the upper range of the instrument. So it's taken some getting used to for sure. But yeah, dynamics don't come across as well with these in-ear monitors compared to what I have been playing on. So that's kind of a negative. But the positives are great. You get great isolation. There's nothing extra coming into either ear. You have full control over your mix. It doesn't matter what theater you're in, how close the front monitors are, how low they are in the pit. Everything is pretty much the same theater to theater, which is great. I have found that I've taken to removing my right earbud, my right monitor, for lower dynamic stuff, and for things where I really need to hear a more natural sound, which tends to be more subtle dynamic levels. And that works out. Another negative would be they take some time to get into your ear. They really need to sit well and fairly deeply in your ears to eliminate what they call occultation, which is where you're hearing the sound from inside your head. So like if they don't sit right, if you've ever worn earplugs while you're playing a brass instrument, you'll know what I'm talking about. You can actually hear your lips buzz inside your head if you're wearing earplugs while you play. So to eliminate that, you need to make sure the volume is up enough to kind of override that. And in addition, you want to make sure that they're seated fairly deep into your ear canal, and finding the right tip, finding the right fit is important. These are foam, so they kind of mold to your ear, which is nice, and these are fairly long and relatively narrow in diameter. These monitors came with, I think, 5 different pairs to try out. Some of them foam, some of them rubber, and these ones seem to work the best for me. But yeah, dynamically speaking, as I was saying, sometimes I remove my right ear, and it's usually my right because the other horns in the pit are to my right or behind me to my right. So I'm trying to get as much of their natural sound as I can as well. But in a piece, I have a couple pieces in the show that start quiet, muted passages, that kind of thing. So I have the ear out, but there's just not enough time to get the earbud back into my canal and seated properly within, any of the periods of rest in those particular numbers. So, I think working in this sort of environment is all about adapting and being able to play in different acoustic environments and less than ideal acoustic environments. We have it pretty good because we have full control over our mix for the most part, but you just have to be so adaptable. So, and that's kind of been the last couple weeks trying these out. I've been dealing with a little sinus sort of issues where my ears have been plugged up and acting weird, but I seem to be over those, and the last week I seem to be over all that, and the last week and a half I've really been able to kind of get used to these in-ear monitors, so that's been good. I think if I was in a pure studio setting, I'd rather have regular cans, but in this sort of environment, with all the high acoustic levels being pumped into the theater house, it really helps. These in-ear monitors really help to keep my sound mix and what I'm hearing the same theater to theater. So that's been nice. Anyway, that's all I have for you this week, and I will catch you next time.